Urgent message. $107 trillion released to you this hour. Don't scroll. It's for you. Prayer for money. My beloved child, do not scroll, because this is not another piece of noise in your feed. This is a summons with your name on it, a holy interruption woven into your day before you were born. Pause, breathe, and know that heaven has paused time for you in this very second, for I am conducting an audit of destinies tonight, and your name appears on my ledger beside a number you can barely comprehend, 107 trillion. You read that and think of money, but I see meaning. You picture digits, but I measure devotion. This is the balance of everything you have endured, the compound interest of every faithful seed you planted when no one clapped, the late nights you stayed steady, the quiet sacrifices nobody noticed, the integrity you kept when shortcuts beckoned. And now, child, the vault that has been sealed for seasons is stirring open. Tell me, where are you watching this from? Your kitchen table? A bus seat? A break room between shifts? Speak it softly, or even your geography matters to me, because every region that receives this word becomes marked for increase, and angels are even now tracing signals from the places where faith has stayed alive despite delay. Some will mock what they cannot measure, and others will skip what they cannot sense. But you stayed. You lingered where others swiped away. And that loyalty has already rewritten your forecast. Hear me clearly, I am not merely giving money. I am restoring order. Too many seek the harvest before learning to till, and too many pray for abundance without building the vault that can hold it. So I visit you now, before this night closes, to establish foundations that do not leak when overflow comes. I am teaching you the divine hierarchy of capital, the invisible staircase every true prosperity must climb, beginning with trust, then truth, then stewardship, and only then surplus. You will no longer chase the blessing. You will carry structure that attracts it. And while you may have asked for a simple prayer for money, I am answering with an alignment that multiplies every resource you already have. Your skill, your network, your mornings, your focus, so that the doors I open do not become burdens you cannot bear. In your modern life where bills arrive faster than thanks and distractions hunt your attention, start with small obediences, finish the task you avoid. Close the tab that steals your hour. Automate what can be automated. Tithe what should be tithed. Forgive what must be released. And ask for wisdom before you ask for wealth. Let your phone become a tool, not a tyrant. Use it to set reminders for gratitude, to block time for deep work, to track small debts until they disappear, and turn commutes into classrooms. When you sit down to budget, whisper, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want," and draft a plan that turns waiting into preparation. If you must name a figure to stretch your faith, keep 107 trillion near, not as a lottery ticket, but as a reminder that my supply is not limited to your salary. And while you ask for a prayer for money miracles, I am also training your hands for practical miracles, negotiating fairly, saving consistently, investing patiently, giving joyfully, so that when the windows of heaven open, you have storehouses ready. Pray with me now, Father. Reorder my priorities, clean my motives, enlarge my capacity, and teach me to steward more by honoring what I have. Give me the courage to say no to what drains me and yes to what builds me. Let generosity become my reflex and contentment my guardrail. Open the right doors and close the wrong ones, even if they glitter. Place mentors in my path. Remove confusion from my mind, and let my work be worship. Amen. And as you say amen, let your next step prove your amen. Send the email, fix the resume, reconcile the account, make the call, enroll in the course, schedule the check-in, because faith is not wishful thinking, but applied belief. Take comfort knowing that blessings are already aligning with your obedience, that your preparation is pulling your promise closer. So do not scroll and forget. Save this, replay it, and return to it on the days you feel small. Because I am writing a new ledger line over your life, not just with provision, but with purpose. And as you continue in this financial prayer, as you ask boldly and work wisely, know that I am near, I am precise, and I am for you. That is why even now the vault is opening and order is descending, quietly, steadily, irresistibly, until your life reads like an answered prayer. Before wealth comes your spiritual capital, that invisible credit line that heaven gives to those who choose gratitude even when nothing seems to move. Gratitude is not just sound, it is a sacred currency. Every thank you whispered through your tears became a deposit in your heavenly account. Every act of kindness, every obedient step you took when no one noticed, built invisible equity in the eternal economy. You may have thought your goodness disappeared into thin air, but I tell you, it multiplied in silence. While others were busy chasing success on earth, heaven was calculating interest in eternity. And now, your spiritual balance has matured. The release is not for those who chase it with greed, but for those whose hearts have been refined by time, patience, and faith. Remember those nights when you wanted to quit, when your hands were empty, yet your worship was still honest. That was when your foundation was laid. Every moment you chose joy instead of bitterness. Every time you held your peace when anger was tempting. Those were not wasted choices. They were spiritual investments, unseen yet powerful. Heaven invests where patience lives, and your patience has paid off. Because you refused to fake faith, your spiritual credit has now been approved. Do not measure your readiness by your bank account. Measure it by your discipline. Money is not the starting point. It is the final form of manifestation. What you've built inside, faith, endurance, gratitude, is what transforms into wealth outside. That is why this blessing, this $107 trillion release, is not random. It is divine timing. It comes not to destroy you, but to represent you. When you walk in righteousness, money becomes your mirror. It reflects your stewardship, your strength, your growth. Some may ask, why did it take so long? The truth is, delay is not denial. It was preparation. Your delay was heaven's data collection. Every trial you endured, every closed door, every moment of silence was measuring how big a vault your spirit could hold. Others wanted immediate withdrawal without internal structure, but you allowed God to prune you, correct you, stretch you. That's why now your ledger reads approved for release. Maybe you've been praying, a prayer for financial breakthrough, a prayer for finances, a deep money prayer whispered when no one else could understand. Do you believe that every prayer has been recorded, every tear counted? What if your faith, not your fear, was the signal that unlocked this divine account? Can you see how your pain was never punishment, but preparation for purpose? Let me tell you a real story. There was a woman who lost everything, her job, her savings, her confidence. She started each morning with a simple thank you, Lord, even when her fridge was empty. One day, she received an unexpected call, a business opportunity that changed her life. It wasn't luck, it was spiritual equity returning with interest. Her prayer for financial breakthrough had matured. She learned that when you trust God, you don't chase money, you attract money. So now, you stand where she once stood, ready, refined, approved. Heaven's timing is never off. You've built integrity when no one watched, and heaven has balanced the books in your favor. This release is not just money, it's a reflection of who you've become. The lesson: stay faithful when unseen. Gratitude is your greatest investment. When you live rightly, money will come naturally, not as your master, but as your servant. Keep your heart pure, your hands open, and your prayers alive. For the one who has walked through delay with faith, the hour of release has come, the audit of readiness. Reimagined, listen closely, because this moment isn't ordinary. I'm not just speaking to what's happening around you, I'm speaking directly to what's happening inside you. Have you ever wondered why sometimes money seems to flow toward others while slipping through your hands? Why don't your efforts always mirror your results? Tonight, I want to tell you something that could change the way you see wealth forever. Wealth doesn't begin in your wallet, it begins in your will. Before you see anything appear in your bank account, it has to first appear in your belief system, in that sacred space between your faith and your focus. This is where true wealth is born. The world may call it capital, but heaven calls it alignment. Before you accumulate, you must align. Before you attract abundance through the law of attraction, you must attract obedience, clarity, and intention. That is the first prayer for financial miracle, not asking for more, but aligning with more. So right now, take a moment. Whisper these words softly, not as a ritual, but as a receipt for what's coming. I align. Let that declaration sink in. It's the spiritual signature authorizing your wealth transfer, the first key that unlocks the vault of your readiness. I know the phrase sounds incredible, $107 trillion, but don't see it as a number. See it as a symbol of unlimited potential. Heaven doesn't count the way banks do. Heaven measures in faith, obedience, and clarity. When you say, I align, you are synchronizing your will with divine timing. You're saying to God, I am ready. You are no longer chasing money. You are magnetizing meaning. This is not a transaction of currency. It's a transformation of consciousness. Let's continue, because the audit has only begun. The next vault is not about what your hands can hold, but about what your mind can handle. We call it intellectual capital, the currency of wisdom, creativity, and understanding. Have you noticed that some people seem to be blessed not because they work harder, but because they think differently? Their thoughts create outcomes. That's what divine economics looks like. The law of attraction doesn't just respond to what you want, it responds to what you think about most deeply. So, what are you thinking about right now? Are you feeding your fears or your future because your mind is a vault? And what you deposit into it daily will either make you wealthy or weary. Think about this every time you choose to learn instead of complaining. Every time you invest in knowledge instead of gossip. Every time you stay curious when others stay comfortable, you're building intellectual wealth. God has been watching those moments, even when you had only time, not money. Your hunger for growth counted as tuition paid in full. You may not realize it yet, but heaven has already been funding your education. When you thought you were just surviving, you were actually studying for your inheritance. And maybe you've been wondering why some who seemed ahead are now fading, while others who were quiet and consistent are suddenly rising. It's because heaven's market measures differently. Down here, people measure worth by possessions. Up there, integrity is interesting. The ones who kept learning, even when no one was watching, are the ones now qualified for overflow. Because in the divine economy, focus is currency, and wisdom is wealth. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. That's Matthew 6:21, and it's not just about gold, it's about guidance. Now, let's talk about your readiness. You may think you've been waiting for money, but what if money has been waiting for you? What if the prayer for financial miracle you've been whispering isn't delayed, it's being developed? When you learn how to manage abundance in your mind, you prepare for abundance in your life. What good is favor if your thinking can't sustain it? What good is blessing if your beliefs can't hold it? I bless minds before I bless hands, because a renewed mind never loses what it receives. That's why the most expensive currency in heaven's economy is clarity. So let me ask you something personal. How much time have you spent this week cultivating clarity? How much energy have you spent chasing distractions instead of direction? Every moment you give to meaningless noise, every scroll that drains your spirit, is spiritual inflation. Attention is minted currency. Spend it wisely. When you reinvest your focus in learning, in revelation, in gratitude, you multiply your spiritual yield. That's the law of attraction in its truest form, energy returning to its source, magnified. Do you remember the first time you believed you were meant for more? That flicker of curiosity that made you stay up late, learning, dreaming, planning. That wasn't random. That was divine design. That was the Creator stirring the first investment in you. Maybe your curiosity was the first seed, your resilience the second, your faith the third. Each moment you chose to believe, you were compounding spiritual interest. And now, heaven's ledger shows it's time for release. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That's Jeremiah 29:11. And it's your confirmation that prosperity is not punishment. It's preparation fulfilled. So what happens when heaven decides you're ready? You don't just receive deposits, you receive downloads. You prayed for money, but now you're flooded with ideas, with inspiration, with insight. Those flashes of vision, those recurring thoughts that won't leave you alone, those are divine authorizations. Each idea is a transaction waiting to be made real. When revelation precedes remuneration, the manifestation is unstoppable. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to attract favor not by force, but by faith. That is the real prayer for financial miracle, an awakened mind that recognizes the fingerprints of God in every good idea. Let me share something from my heart sometimes. The reason you haven't received more isn't because you're unworthy, it's because you're unready. Heaven doesn't waste resources on those who won't recognize them. But tonight, as you listen, something is shifting. You are becoming the kind of person who can hold abundance without losing identity. You are stepping into a vibration of gratitude and confidence. When you breathe deeply and whisper, "I align," you're not just speaking to the air, you're opening the gates of spiritual capital. Every breath of gratitude keeps them open. Every choice for growth keeps the flow alive. So I want you to ask yourself, what will you do differently now that you know you are the vault? Will you keep scrolling through doubt? Or will you start investing your attention where it yields divine returns? Will you treat your time like treasure? Or will you keep spending it on things that deplete your value? Remember, heaven doesn't bless spectators of envy. It blesses students of wisdom. Every time you choose to learn, you qualify for overflow. Now, listen. Before this night ends, I want you to understand that 107 trillion isn't a number meant to intimidate you. It's meant to describe you. It represents the unlimited nature of your spiritual and intellectual capital. You are not waiting for wealth. You are wealth waiting to be realized. You are the answered prayer for your generation. You are the seed, the soil, and the harvest. And when you finally understand that, when your soul says, "I align," that is the moment heaven stamps your audit complete. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, what would happen if you truly believed that God has already approved your abundance? How differently would you walk, speak, and think if you knew that the law of attraction and divine purpose were conspiring for your success? Would you still doubt it? Or would you begin to act like the miracle you've been praying for? Remember, clarity creates confidence, and confidence attracts capital. This is your prayer for financial miracle, not words, but awakening. You are seen, you are selected, and you are ready. The audit is done, the vault is open, the transfer, spiritual, intellectual, and divine, is already in motion. Stay aligned, stay believing, staying, and now, beloved, I open the second vault, the one where your increase is hidden. Inside it lies not just wealth, but wisdom, not just numbers, but understanding. From this hour, your thoughts will attract provision instead of panic. You will begin to see that the universe always responds to stillness more than to striving. When you quiet your mind, divine blueprints will whisper to you. The same hands that once trembled in fear will now draw maps for abundance. Do not scroll away, for even now your soul is downloading instructions that heaven waited to release until you were ready to receive. I do not bless confusion, I bless comprehension. When you understand my principles, you stop wishing and start working with faith. This is the secret of every true financial prayer. You align your mind with my system, and my system never fails. Faith without learning is zeal without leverage. My child, I have seen you praying for money, but I am teaching you the kind of faith that builds, not just begs. Money without wisdom leads to waste, but wisdom without action is still asleep. Tonight, I merge them inside you. This is your prayer for a miracle, a divine synchronization between your mind, your heart, and your purpose. Every sleepless night you spent learning, writing, staying humble while others flaunted, was counted as equity in the unseen economy of heaven. I never overlook a disciplined learner. Heaven keeps score even when humans forget. Remember the words of Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, but you, child, are not destroyed. You are being distinguished. From now on, every book you open, every skill you sharpen, every lesson you apply will multiply. Opportunities will no longer hide from you, for knowledge emits fragrance, and I will make your wisdom recognizable. Even your silence will carry authority. I will place you in rooms where others carry titles, but you will carry solutions. One sentence from your lips will shift strategies, and men will know that wisdom has entered the building. Tonight, write this truth on the tablet of your mind. Intellect is an altar. What you feed it becomes your offering. Feed it distraction and it will yield drought. Feed it wisdom and it will yield wealth. This is how a true financial prayer works. It feeds the soul with discipline and the mind with faith. So I bless your mind tonight. I lift the fog of fear and burn away the residue of comparison. I install clarity as your crown. The next idea that visits you will not just inspire you, it will sustain and finance you. This is your answered prayer for money, not through sudden luck, but through steady revelation. Stay with me now. The activation is still in motion. We have built your spiritual vault and your intellectual vault, but there remains one more, the vault of character. For intellect may open doors, but integrity keeps them from closing. The wealth I entrust is never meant to destroy. It requires a foundation that won't crumble under blessing. Your delays were not denial, they were strength training. You learned to stay calm when gossip was loud. You chose honesty when lies could have bought applause. You stayed kind when bitterness tried to rent your tongue. That restraint was not weakness, it was investment. I was building credibility into your name. What good is gold in the hands of one who cannot be trusted? Reputation, my child, is spiritual interest. I multiply the trustworthy. Those who protect what is sacred never run out of what is seen. You prayed for increase. I gave you integrity, for integrity is the soil of sustainable wealth. As it is written in Luke 16:10, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. When I searched the earth for where to release this 107 trillion blessing, I looked not for the loudest, but for the most stable hearts, those who would not fluctuate with emotion. You are becoming one of them. You are now being established as a stable currency in unstable times. When others panic, you will remain peaceful. When markets shake, you will stand firm. That calm will attract commerce because people trust peace. It smells like heaven, so keep your focus sharp, your heart humble, your spirit alert. Every moment you stay in alignment is a continuation of your miracle. Whisper softly, I align. That whisper is not small, it echoes through realms. The audit of heaven continues. And you, my beloved, remain qualified. The 107 trillion I promised is already flowing, but not in the way the world understands. It manifests as wisdom, clarity, and divine timing, because true wealth begins in the mind before it ever appears in the account. You have prayed your financial prayer, and heaven has heard. Continue walking in faith, applying what you've learned. And remember, miracles are not magic. They are management of divine principles. Stay faithful, for your transformation is not coming. It has already begun. Vault 4. Social capital. Now we transition into the next vault, social capital. This is the network of favor I built around you while you thought no one noticed. Some of your relationships were tests, others were bridges. The ones that fell away were pruning, not punishment. Every connection that remains has purpose. You do not need to chase who left. What is yours will circle back, with relevance. I am positioning people who carry what you lack, and lack what you carry. Mutual benefit, not manipulation. That is the new flow. Child, hear me. Favor always travels through faces. I could pour the blessing directly into your hands, but I prefer to send it through people so that gratitude circulates and generosity multiplies. Some of those people are already in your phone, uncontacted. Others are watching you quietly, evaluating your steadiness. In the coming days, you will notice sudden messages, invitations, alignments, not coincidence, but coordination. Heaven is scheduling introductions according to the maturity of your character. Do not idolize those who come. Respect them, but never lower your worth to keep anyone near. You can be humble without shrinking, gracious without groveling. Stop asking to sit at tables I built for you to host. Influence does not mean dependency. It means responsibility. When I elevate you, I expect you to uplift others. When I bless you, I expect circulation. Hoarding is the language of fear. Sharing is the dialect of trust. Understand this balance integrity maintains. Generosity multiplies. When you walk in both, you become a financial ecosystem of heaven itself. People will start to sense safety in your presence. They will say, something about you feels anchored. That's because your economy runs on truth, not tactics. Your handshake will carry weight. Your word will open doors that money can't. You are now transitioning from being noticed to being needed. I am sending those who will fund your purpose, not just follow your page. Partnerships will appear divine because they are, but test every alliance. Not every yes is a seed. Some are weeds disguised as favor. Stay discerning. Ask me before you sign, before you post, before you commit. Heaven will not let you waste this era of expansion. Child, do you remember how you once felt invisible? That invisibility was protection. I hid you while your roots strengthened. I shielded you from premature exposure. because public attention without private stability is spiritual bankruptcy. But now your character has cleared the audit. You have passed the test of integrity. You are ready to be seen, not as a spectacle, but as a steward. So here is the decree. The next 7 days will bring evidence of expansion. Expect an email, a conversation, a small door that leads to a wide place. Do not call it luck. Call it logistics of heaven. I am connecting your name to names, your voice to ears, your product to places. The map is alive. Your obedience has become a signal, and the right people are tuning in. Still, I caution you, remain teachable. Knowledge without humility turns wisdom into pride, and pride is the tax that cancels grace. Every time I raise you, bow lower. Let gratitude be your gravity. Do not perform holiness. Practice it quietly. Generosity must not become theater. Give without announcement, help without a camera, forgive without an audience. This is how I keep the flow pure. Before this night closes, repeat this once. My integrity is my currency. As you say it, the atmosphere responds. Data shifts. Files move. Because in heaven's economy, declarations are digital keys. You have just verified your identity. Now stay with me. The next part will open the vault of human capital, where your effort meets others' excellence. There you will see why isolation was never your assignment, and how collaboration carries multiplication. Vault 5, Human Capital Child. We now step into covenant territory, the realm of human capital. For no kingdom expands by one voice alone. Even heaven operates as a network. Father, Son, Spirit, creation itself began through collaboration. Word spoken, Spirit hovering, power manifesting. Why would you think you are called to build alone? Isolation is not holiness. It is exhaustion disguised as independence. You have learned much in solitude. Yes, but now it is time for strategic companionship. I am sending people who will not compete with you, but complete you. Some will arrive to carry what you can no longer hold. Others will translate your vision into systems and structures. You prayed for relief, and I answered through relationships. Every divine mission requires human participation. Moses had Aaron, David had Jonathan, even Christ carried a circle. So will you? Listen carefully. This 107 trillion decree is not merely an endowment. It is a deployment. I am not handing you wealth to isolate yourself behind walls of comfort. I am authorizing resources to flow through your network, to reach others, to create ecosystems of blessing. The wealth I send multiplies only when shared. What you release into trustworthy hands multiplies faster than what you keep clenched in fear. But understand this: not every helper is holy, and not every partner is permanent. Some were seasonal tutors, teaching you discernment through disappointment. You were never betrayed to break you. You were betrayed to teach you to screen. You needed to know how to recognize counterfeit loyalty before you touched real legacy. This next covenant requires clarity, not sentiment. You cannot build a skyscraper with unstable steel. So I will prune again. I will remove the pretenders who love your light, but not your labor. Do not mourn them when they fade. They were necessary exits. Heaven audits relationships as strictly as it audits accounts. Every connection that remains after pruning is qualified for multiplication. Child, when I send new people, welcome them with humility, but test them with wisdom. Ask not, what can they give me, but do they align with what God is building through me? True partnerships will speak your language of purpose, even without rehearsal. They will not drain your energy. They will match your pace. You will sense peace around them, not excitement that burns quickly, but calm that builds deeply. Remember this: I bless blueprints. not busyness. When your vision is plain, provision appears. Clarity summons contribution. So write the vision again, even if you think it's old. Update the instructions I whispered months ago, but you left half written. Some of the helpers I'm sending are waiting to see your documented direction before they invest. Do not hide your assignment. Articulate it. Make it visible enough for the right eyes to find it. Understand the law of shared multiplication. What you build together outlives what you build alone. I will attach skilled hands to your dream, editors to your words, builders to your blueprints, strategists to your calling. Some will volunteer before you ask. Others will arrive as paid professionals but carry prophetic timing. Treat both as sacred. When you honor your contribution, I expand compensation. Do not fear losing control. True leaders do not micromanage miracles. They manage alignment. Your role is not to do everything. It is to keep everything in order, for order is the oxygen of overflow. When systems breathe smoothly, heaven sends scale. Child, I tell you again, 107 trillion is not arriving to decorate your ego. It is arriving to demonstrate covenant capacity. I entrust resources to those who build circulation, not captivity. The more people your blessing touches, the stronger your vault becomes. This is how divine economics works. Giving is the gateway of growth. What you keep, you maintain. What you give, you multiply. I have also seen how you handled people before. You did not belittle the ones below you. You honored them. You helped without a camera. You forgave quietly. That humility was my signal to expand your circle. I promote those who do not weaponize their worth. That is why new allies are forming. Even as you read this, some of them are listening to the same message, miles away, feeling the same tug in their spirit. Heaven networks hearts before handshakes. So before tonight closes, make a small covenant act. Message one person you know is struggling, not to preach, but to lift. Share encouragement, even a simple word of faith. That one act will ripple through unseen systems. For as you circulate hope, I circulate wealth. Every outward act of care registers as inward expansion. And when the new people arrive, do not ask why they came. Ask what I want done through them. Sometimes I send helpers not for your comfort, but for your calibration. Each divine relationship is an instrument in your orchestra. Some strings, some brass, some percussion. When they all align under my direction, the sound of increase fills the air. Repeat this now once, and reverently I build with heaven. That is your covenant phrase. The moment those words leave your mouth, they register as an open contract in heaven's system. Stay with me. The construction has only begun. The vault is now half opened. Spiritual, intellectual, character, social, and human capital activated.